Witam wszystkich bardzo serdecznie, z tej strony Korle i zapraszam na kolejną część przygód w grze Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Rozdałem kiełbasę w okolicy, przyznam, że nie było wcale tak lekko jak zakładałem. O, a tu byli jacyś ludzie, gotowi ją odebrać. W każdym razie... Okej, zaraz się dowiemy, o co chodzi z ucztą dla ubogich. Odpowiedz, co byś chciał?
What would you like?
I don't want to yell. Come closer.
Tu jesteś. Pogadamy za moment. Tylko jedna rzecz. Jakby ktoś szukał ludzi do kiełbasy, to najłatwiej rozdać ją tutaj, w tym miejscu. Biegałem wzdłuż murów, no i niepotrzebnie dużo czasu straciłem. Ale przy okazji odwiedziłem też laboratorium i nie wiem nawet kiedy nauczyliśmy się wytwarzać naszego tutaj jakże wyczekiwanego liska. To jest dziwne, bo nie przypominałem sobie, żebym się tego uczył. Nie wiem, może tyle razy już go wypiliśmy, że w ten sposób poznaliśmy przepis. W każdym razie mamy teraz miksturę czy eliksir Lis Henryka, która nie dość, że zwiększa o 7 punktów naszą retorykę, to jeszcze zdobywane doświadczenie o 50% na 2 dni. No czego chcieć więcej? O co chodzi?
You're new here, aren't you? Has Chenyek talked the head off you already?
We spoke.
I'll give you some good advice to start with. Don't listen to his bollocks about a fairer society and the honourable struggle for a better tomorrow. It's just bullshit to mess with newcomers like you. By the way, they call me Knuckles.
Też się lubimy? Mnie nie przekonał? Nie, no brzmiało.
It sounded
Dobrze.
pretty convincing to me.
Aye. Chenyek can sweet talk people like no other. I mean, Chenyek talks about sharing stuff fairly and how we don't do it for the money. But you know what? It's horseshit. It's every man for himself down here, even if they say otherwise. And Chenyek just gives it such a nice polish.
Are you saying he lied to me?
More like, he didn't tell you the whole truth. I heard from friends that Sigismund has a bottle of very fine wine somewhere in his warehouse. The kind of wine that you don't often see in these parts. I have a buyer for it. So if you bring it to me, I'll give you half the coin he's paying for it.
Teraz dopiero mówisz? Dobry pomysł.
That sounds reasonable. What do you know about the wine?
I knew we'd get along. The wine is in a warehouse somewhere. If you find it and bring it to me, I'll give you a better price for it than any merchant in the town. So think about it. The buyer I got is particularly interested in this bottle.
I'll look for it. Chenyek said you could give me some gear too.
All that talk about equality, brotherhood. But when it comes to lockpicks, I'm supposed to give you stuff from my own stash. Here's something you might find useful.
Thank you.
Nie mogłeś nas ostatnio zaczepić już? No dobra, w każdym razie rozdaliśmy kiełbasy i warto się podzielić tą informacją. Otrzymałeś? A dziękuję. Słuchaj, Czeniek.
Good evening, my friend. What do you need?
Wykonałem zadanie. O,
I did what you asked me to do.
Great! So you robbed the chest and fed the poor?
I robbed the chest and left the cabbage in it.
Ha ha! Great work! He's in for a big surprise, the red-headed fucker. Good work! What about the beggars?
I fed as many people as I could.
You're a hero. Folk will really appreciate that, you know. They've never eaten like this before. Now that wasn't so hard, was it? And that feeling of satisfaction. We may not be any richer, and yet...
miłe, miłe.
You know what? I'm beginning to understand the guild's modesty.
See? And now, let's talk about your next job. Just before I tell you more about it, try talking to Rat. I'm sure there are a few side jobs for a chap like you. And Goliath could teach you how to throw a proper punch. He's the best brawler far and wide.
No dobra, myślę, że wrócimy jeszcze do nich tutaj po zadania i inne rzeczy. Wiemy, gdzie takie misje, wszystko okej, się kryją, ale byłbym za tym, żeby skoczyć trochę za fabułą, bo mamy idealną porę na to, aby wyruszyć do podziemi. Gdzie wy macie to spotkanie? Spotkanie zaczyna się o zachodzie słońca. No wydaje się, że dobra pora na to, tylko gdzie to może być? Może gdzieś w tej okolicy, tak najbardziej wygląda jak ta dzielnica górnicza, czy jak oni to nazwali. Jesteśmy na miejscu, zaczyna się już. Halo? Dalej nic? Zobaczmy. Dziennik. Dalej nic. No to nic, to poczekam jeszcze chwilę. O, pasuje. O 22. No to okej, to późno to słońce zachodzi. To my tę misję braliśmy o 23. Tak niewiele brakowało, żeby to wszystko się udało wcześniej. Ale dobra, z tej strony wy się ukryliście, no oszaleli? To lecimy tak, na piechotę, tylko żeby nam cała noc na to nie zeszła. Nie, Henryczko? Teraz tak. To nie takie proste. Jak oni żyją w tym Gutenbergu? Mam nadzieję, że uda ich się przegadać jakoś sensownie. Wpuszczą nas na spotkanie. To tu? Nie do końca tak chyba miało działać. Przynajmniej wiemy, która dzielnica.
Keep the peace, and we'll stay friends.
Cheers. I hope you have an uneventful shift.
Przynajmniej wiemy, która dzielnica to górnicze.
Hey! Hey! Open up! Open up!
Kurwa, what are you doing, Moise?
Foot's a capora, piece of junk. Never mind. We'll cut this shit down.
Czyli co, oszukali nas? To ja się tu znowu ładnie ubrałem. Znów nie mamy pancerza na walkę. Szybko, póki kolega nie przyszedł. I tak to było, zaufać Samuelowi, ale to rozumiem, że on chyba wiedział, co się tu szykuje.
Come on then.
Koledzy Samuela, tak? Dobrze. Inaczej z nim porozmawiamy.
Wait! Don't kill him!
You're gonna beg for mercy? After this?
We can make a deal. We have some of your people. We can exchange them.
Our people? What the hell are you talking about?
We caught some of them yesterday, trying to get to Liechtenstein, just like you.
No, I'm after Liechtenstein because I need to talk to him. I'm not his enemy. But if you know where he is, you better take me to him. Right now.
I have my orders. I'm not supposed to let anyone near him. Especially not someone who just beat my two best men. I'm not a fool.
Right. I'll go unarmed. If that'll convince you.
I'll trust you. But in return, you have to trust me. You can't see where we're going.
All right. But no tricks.
Those are the rules.
Wait, who is that somewhere?
We will soon find out. Let us in.
Wenches or the neighbour's daughter, any dirt you can dig up. Off you go! Oh, who have you brought now, Sam?
I'm not entirely sure, but he says he knows you and absolutely insisted he had to talk to you.
Ah. Of course. Henry. Lord Capon of Perkstein's page. We met on my visit to Rattay. He's all right.
Lord Capon's escort and bodyguard.
Quite. Quite. But tell me, what brings you here?
Well, that's quite a long story, sir.
I've got plenty of time, and actually I enjoy long stories. You know why? Because they demand a lot of wine. Please, take a seat and tell me everything.
If I'm not mistaken, Jobst sent you to von Berkhoff with a message. How did that go?
Fatalnie bądź źle. Fatalnie. Dłuższa wersja.
Not well. As we were approaching Trotsky, we were attacked by bandits. They killed all our men.
What?
We only got away by a hair's breadth. And we lost everything, including the message. We ended up in rags, like beggars. They wouldn't let us into the castle. After that, we tried to get by as best we could.
Good God! I need a drink now. But did you manage to deliver the message in the end?
Yes, but it was touch and go.
I like exciting stories.
Well, you'll love this one then. Apart from being ambushed and almost killed, Capon ended up on the gallows for poaching.
A nobleman on the gallows for poaching?
Wyglądał jak włóczęga, tak, zaszła pomyłka.
It was a mistake, of course.
Może jednak.
He really did have a noose round his neck, though. But it all worked out in the end.
Good gracious! But tell me, who ambushed you?
Well, that's interesting as well. Istvan Toth and some others.
What? That sneaky rat from Talmberg? He's still alive?
Not anymore.
You? Well done. Let's drink to that.
Death to the enemy.
What happened next?
Von Berghoff was attacked around the same time by the same men, so we thought we were on the same side as him. And we wanted to help him catch the bandits as a goodwill gesture.
Why didn't he catch them himself?
He tried. We found out for him that the bandits were holed up at Nabokov. When he sent his soldiers to their lair, we went with them. We wanted to be there and get Istvan.
And that's where you killed him?
No. We were nearly killed ourselves. Again.
By Istvan?
No, he wasn't there. The bandits were led by a fella who fucked us right up, and von Bergov's entire force, too. He lured us into a trap and slaughtered everyone. Me and Capon were the only survivors.
It sounds like your guardian angel never gets a moment's rest.
There was some luck in it. But it was more that Zizka knew he could get a ransom for Capon.
Wait, Zizka? He's the one who almost killed you.
Ano, znacie się?
You know him?
Of course I do. Zizka is in the service of Prokop of Luxembourg, King Wenceslas's cousin.
Aye, we found that out as well.
And what the hell was Istvan Toth doing with him?
It turned out he was spying for von Berghoff. But he didn't do a great job, fortunately. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here.
I am starting to get confused.
That makes two of us. Maybe we'll understand better if we get drunk.
You're not holding back, I see. Your health, then. After Zizka took us prisoner, it finally became clear we were on the same side, and Istvan had to flee.
So when did you kill that bastard?
Not till some time later. Just when we thought we were out of the woods and Istvan was gone, he appeared outside the walls of Nabokov again, with von Berghoff and Markvart von Aulitz. Von Aulitz was on his way to Kuttenberg with reinforcements for Sigismund. And with the finger of God.
With the what?
A bombard.
Good lord!
Have you ever seen one? I hadn't, until they used it against us.
I've heard about the bombard. An infernal weapon. Then what?
Ło, czy tak szybko? Wysadzili wieżę i nas pojmali. Nie tak
Didn't
szybko.
have a chance. They blew the tower to pieces and took us all prisoner. They took us to Trotsky and tortured us. But with the help of a woman who works with Zizka, we managed to escape.
Zizka. That man always has a trick or two in reserve.
Thank God. While we were making our escape, I crossed paths with Toth, and finally took my revenge for everything he did.
Dull moment with you, I see. To happy endings, then. And where is Lord Capon? Or should I call him the Prince of Poachers?
Well, the most fitting thing to call him would be hostage, because that's what he is now.
A hostage?
That's right. Von Berghoff took him with him. And that's why I'm here, in fact.
Your original plan went badly awry, I must say.
No i to co najmniej kilka razy. Mogło być gorzej, tak.
Well, it could have been worse.
That's the way of the world. For my part, I'm forced into hiding, as you've probably noticed. They're after me as if I owed taxes. Ah, if only I knew what Jobst would say.
I know exactly what he'd say as it happens.
You do?
I spoke to Jobs just after we arrived at Suchdal. He expressly forbade me to look for you, or try to rescue Capon.
That damned... Did he say why?
Aye. He said you can look after yourself. And as a nobleman, Capon has nothing to fear in captivity.
Ah, Jobst.
If we cause trouble for Sigismund, it could threaten his plans, he said. That's cowardice, if you ask me.
It's true I can take care of myself, but the old schemer could at least have warned me, whatever his plans might be.
Zizka sees Jobst as a pain in the arse, too. I mean, he's not fond of him. And he doesn't approve of his plan.
Then I expect he and I will see eye to eye. Although I prefer a different strategy to braining all and sundry with a mace. Even so, what brings you to me? You didn't take this risk just to tell me what Jobst is like, or that I should carry on with what I'm doing.
No. My first concern is to rescue Lord Capon, whatever schemes Jobst is dreaming up.
And then...
To wszystko. Chodzi o wasze bezpieczeństwo. O, i czy my powinniśmy zaufać, czy nie? Do tej pory to tak średnio to wyglądało. Zawsze jak się wygadaliśmy, to później źle wychodziło, ale z drugiej strony no miał być naszym przyjacielem. Dobra, przyznaj się póki co.
And also, it's about your safety.
My safety?
You know, they tortured us. Zizka, Godwin and me. They asked about Jobst's plans and about you. I'd have held out, but Godwin... He told them where you were.
Where I am? In this city, you mean? That's not such a terrible betrayal. Kuttenberg is a big city. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack.
Not that they have not tried. They almost caught you a couple of times. If it were not for my people.
That's true, of course. But I'm not going to bear a grudge. The executioner always gets what he wants. And if he hadn't, we wouldn't be talking right now.
Przepraszam, dziękuję i to i to.
I apologize.
No need. It's not your fault. Nevertheless, let's turn the page. Capon. How do you plan to free him?
That's exactly why I came to see you.
Oh. How's that?
Bo wy wiecie, bo możecie wiedzieć.
Because you move in certain circles.
And...
You conspire. You hear all the rumors.
So?
So you might know where they're holding him.
Sigismund confiscated the property of some burghers and noblemen in the city when they opposed him, and he divided the property up between his loyal followers. He seized Malyshoff Fortress from the Rutards, for instance. And didn't you say, Sam, that he gifted it to von Berkoff?
Yes, that is so.
That was before von Berkoff was in these parts. But if he's here now, where else would he be but in Malyshoff? And if von Berkoff is there...
That's where his captive will be.
Correct. Capon is at Malyshoff Fortress.
Nie mamy szans? Uwolnimy? No właśnie, uwolnijmy.
Well, it'll be tougher than I thought, but that can't be helped. I'm gonna have to get him out of there somehow.
I admire your keenness, but...
But that is the most insane idea I've heard so far today.
You can't just launch an assault on Malyshoff. It's a strong fortress. We'll need a cunning plan.
Or long ladders and lots of men. That could be arranged, maybe.
Careful! Jobst ordered us not to stir up trouble. And this would be serious trouble. But if Capon simply vanished...
Vanished how, exactly?
I don't know yet. But like I said, Malyshoff belonged to the Rutards. And I'm sure they're not keen on the new tenant. I think if you pay a visit to Sir Kunslin Rutard and convince him you have common interests, he'll be happy to think up a solution with you.
Like what?
Who knows? Perhaps Lord Rutard knows of a back door into his old home, and he might not be averse to an arrangement with someone who will help him take revenge.
Someone like you.
Well, I wouldn't get my hopes up. But it's the best we've got, and there's no harm in trying. Where can I find this Kunslin?
Sigismund seized his fortress, but, surprisingly, he let him keep his palace in the city. It's right next to the Italian court.
All right. I'll give it a go.
Once you have some news, you know where to find me. Is there anything you want to know before you go?
No właśnie, wygada nam się.
Come to think of it, I've no idea where we actually are.
Of course. I'd forgotten how you got here.
We're in the Jewish quarter, in the basement of the King Solomon Tavern, below my tavern. Goyim do not just wander in here, but I will tell my people you are with us.
Thanks a whole lot. All right, I'll set off now.
Good luck. It was good to see you again, Henry. And be careful. There's bound to be spies swarming around the palace. This city isn't safe.
Tell me about it. Danger is my daily bread these days.
Fajnie, tu macie O! No właśnie, a czy możemy kupić sobie... Włamywanie. Czy możemy sobie spanko kupić u was? Jak to wygląda sytuacja? Samuelu, oberżysto, ty jeden. To znaczy, że nie dla nas noclegownia w tym miejscu. Trzeba by było... Faktycznie głęboko ta piwnica. Trzeba by było w którymś momencie trochę przestopować z tą fabułą. Może zrobić coś jeszcze pobocznego. O, mam wrażenie, że jesteśmy w stanie wyjść na ulicę. Chętnie bym się przespał gdzieś w okolicy, ale nasze najbliższe łóżko jest całkiem niedaleko, bo tutaj będziemy mieli od razu zadanie do wzięcia. No ale to o poranku. Gutenberg, bez deszczu, no. Piękny, piękny, dobra. Ale, bo jest kilka rzeczy i może to nie jest zły czas, aby je wykorzystać, bo jest parę książek, które chciałem nadrobić, jak tylko będzie chwila. Więc na początek. Księga o złodziejstwie. Bierzemy to. Studiuj. Tym bardziej, że teraz dostajemy większe punkty doświadczenia i szybciej czytamy. Tak, jeżeli dobrze rozumiem. Lisek nam pomaga w tym. Spędzimy tu pewnie cały dzień, ale co tam. Przeczytam też i pozostałe na szybko. Złodziejstwo 18. Godzina 17, a my już skończyliśmy lekturę. No cóż, warto było w każdym razie, bo wiedza znów poziom wyżej poszła. Już nie mówiąc o innych statystykach, więc powoli się rozwijamy w fajnym kierunku. A może i wcale nie tak powoli. Kto ma misję dla nas tutaj? Bo ja bym chętnie pomógł. Możemy tu wejść? Parle! Mieliśmy się spotkać.
Good day to you. What brings you here?
Are you in charge of the construction of St. Barbara's? I hear you sent for a blacksmith. Well, here I am. My name is Henry.
Johann Parler is my name, from the Parler Building Works. I think that name should ring some bells?
I'm truly pleased to meet you, sir. So, what do you need? Nails? Carpenter's axes?
Close, but not quite. I need something, let's say, a bit more delicate.
Co to znaczy? Aby nie chodziło o jakieś szemrane interesy? Może chodzić. No.
More delicate, you say? And what exactly does that mean?
Oh, there's nothing to fear. Everything will be quite above board. If we are careful. You've never heard of my father, Peter?
I can't say as I have.
He had a divine gift, but he didn't get the chance to see all of his wonderful buildings completed. That task fell upon my shoulders.
Życzy, jestem zainteresowany, coś więcej. O,
It must be a great
miło.
honor to continue with such a great work of architecture.
Honor, a great responsibility is what it is. Imagine I make a bad decision or make a mistake in the calculations. And this building, which my father oversaw for so many years, suddenly comes tumbling down. And that's why I called for you. Construction work is going slower than I'd hoped. Nevertheless, I'm still thinking ahead. Therefore, I'd like to conceal a protective talisman among the roof beams of the cathedral.
And why is that a problem?
Talismans don't grow on trees. I know of 3 here in town, but they're not for sale.
I think I'm beginning to understand.
The first is the horseshoe hanging above the door of the tailors at the horse market. They say he once got lost in a snowstorm, and Saint Martin himself found him and brought him by horse to the town. He gave him a horseshoe as a reminder.
niebywałe.
My word. That tailor was damn lucky.
Don't speak, just listen. The next talisman is a commemorative coin set into the cellar wall above the tavern across from the town hall. And the third is a nail somewhere in the beams of the potter's house in the Czech quarter. They say he brought it from Sedlet Monastery years ago. I want you to get all 3, smelt them down, and forge an axe out of them that I can use to protect St. Barbara's. Putting a carpenter's axe in the truss work is an old tradition.
And no one will know it's made out of a horseshoe and a coin.
Co za to dostanę? Nie muszę pytać, zarobię to. Zawsze miałem łeb do interesów.
All right, I'll do it. If the pay is good.
It'll be more than good, have no fear. But don't come to see me before it's done. The less we're seen together, the better. Until we meet again.
Dobrze, no to nawet nieźle, że wzięliśmy to zadanie, bo zawsze jak będziemy gdzieś w okolicy, to możemy spojrzeć
I'm sorry.
na nie, sorry. I Anusz coś nam się pokryje. No dobrze, ale do naszego kolegi, w sumie to jesteśmy w okolicy, to zobaczmy, co pod literą B się schowało. Nie chciałbym podnosić od razu wszystkich zadań, żeby też takiego bałaganu nie wprowadzać. Maksymalnie 3-4 mieć aktywne, aby w miarę się odnaleźć w każdym odcinku. Ale wiadomo, że nieraz z tymi zadaniami to jest tak, że nie spodziewamy się ich i same nas nachodzą. Albo to kolejna rzecz jakaś się kryje. Jak to z tym wygląda sytuacja? Wchodzimy, gdzie masz tę podkowę i co, mamy po prostu zdjąć ją z drzwi? Ktoś... A tutaj jest krawiec. A podkowa gdzie? Słuchaj.
Servus, Freund.
Serwus?
A fine day for some fine wares. Come and take your pick. Be careful.
Może jednak sprzeda.
Was willst du, mein Herr?
A nic nie macie. No to koniec rozmowy. Gdzie to dokładnie miało być z tą podkową? No dobra, no wygląda na to, że te podkowy nad drzwiami, ale to nic nie widać, chyba że w środku. Będziemy musieli chyba wykraść nocą, no bo tutaj zbyt wielu świadków byśmy mieli. Czy tędy dojdziemy? Nie dojdziemy. Idziemy dalej na misję główną, tak? Trzymajmy się tego zadania, jak już ruszyliśmy w tym kierunku. Wolałbym też biegać po ulicy, tak? Bo ostatnio średnio nam wyszło. Oho. Jak skręciliśmy nieco w boczne alejki. A wydaje mi się, że mieliśmy gdzieś tam się dostać. Ach, ta znana okolica, łaźnie. Tylko łaźnie to my musimy szeroko omijać. Ktoś się tu bije bez nas? Ej, panowie. Dobrze słyszę? Ej, Fight Club. My też chcemy. Dobra, może wejdę do nich jednak. Przebiorę się tylko. A nuż... Trochę akcji też wprowadzimy w to wszystko. Słuchajcie, panowie. Gdzie to się obstawia te walki? Cześć, mistrzu. Kurczę, to ja tu z nadziejami, że będziemy mieli jakieś bitki, coś w ten deseń. Może ty? Nie, mieszczanin. Fight Club kolejna, tu wychodzi na to, że nic z tych rzeczy. Idźcie, panowie, dobra. Mapy pokażcie. Gdzie my mamy na te rozmowy iść? Niedaleko, pod literę A. To nawet chyba będzie łatwiej niż myślałem tam się dostać.
To wit, blacksmiths, swordsmiths, armorers, cobblers.
Łej. To jeszcze nie tu. Potem pałac? To wygląda jak wejście do miasta.
You shouldn't be walking.
I have not changed my answer. I will not sell you the rights to my mines. Not today, not tomorrow, nor in 100 years. You will not get your hands on my silver.
You forget I have influential friends. If you won't sell the mines, you'll lose them. Just like Malishov. Along with your life, if you defy me.
Mind your step. Two can play that game. Did you really think that I didn't know you were stealing the royal silver, eh? When your self-proclaimed king finds that out, your head will be on the chopping block.
Seize that traitor!
Not another step.
You'll get yours too, turtle dove. What are you waiting for? Can't you see? They're threatening the Royal Mint Master!
Dobrze, że chociaż ubrany jestem właściwie tym razem. Tego się jest... O! Ale tu będą ładne pieniądze leżeć na ulicy. Słuchajcie, panowie. No! Ciekawe, czy nam podziękują. Jak nam podziękują?
Thanks for the help, lad. God knows what would have happened to us if you hadn't shown up.
Papa, are you all right?
What the hell was that, Rosa?
I saved your life. Didn't you notice?
We would have been in the right if you hadn't taken the shot. Now we have the blood of the king's men on our hands. Do you have any idea what this means?
Was I supposed to let one of Sigismund's lackeys insult us in our own home?
And you thought this was a better solution?
You know what? Let's just leave it be. I don't want to argue in front of the young man here. Apologies for the mess, stranger. There aren't usually so many corpses strewn about our courtyard.
Podoba mi się ten żarcik. Przyjmuję przeprosiny, to ja powinienem przeprosić? O, może tak.
I should be the one apologizing. Some of it is my handiwork.
It won't be your concern, though. I promise. We'll call the guards and tell them what happened. That Ulrich Vavak and his men attacked us for no reason.
You think that will make them let us off the hook?
Not for free. But knowing young Plimo, the commander of the guard, I'm sure he won't refuse my coin. But back to you, lad. Who are you? And why have you graced us with your visit?
I'm Henry of Skalitz, squire to Lord Capon of Perkstein.
Pleased to meet you. Conslin Routard. And this feisty creature here is my daughter Rosa.
Like father, like daughter.
Why did your master send you to me, Henry?
He didn't, sir. Unfortunately, he's in enemy captivity.
We're sorry to hear that.
But I plan to rescue him. And I believe you can help me with that.
We can? How?
Lord Capon is held at Malashov.
Our Malashov? I don't envy him. I was planning on fixing the roof before they took it from us. It's full of leaks. I doubt its new master will lift a finger to do anything about it. But tell me, why would I meddle in matters that don't concern me?
Pomogłem. Po tej samej stronie. To wasz obowiązek? Po tej samej stronie.
Oh, you all stand on the same side? Against Sigismund?
That is undoubtedly true. I don't like that ginger bastard either. Especially since his people started sticking their fingers in my coffers. But to get involved in something as dangerous as freeing a captured nobleman in a territory conquered by Sigismund?
We have to do something to help. I know it's dangerous.
Dangerous? It's madness. What if somebody finds out?
Nobody will know.
You haven't been in Kuttenberg for long, have you? The walls have ears here. I'd only end up with my head on the chopping block. And I don't even want to think about what they'd do to Rosa.
That's true. As long as Vavak's breathing down our necks, we have to be careful.
Who is he, anyway?
Ulrich Vavak von Neuhaus. The new mint master appointed by Sigismund himself. He's had it in for us ever since he took over the office. He's been pressuring me to hand over my mining rights. It seems he'd like to see me reduced to a beggar. And now we've killed his men. The king's men. I'll have to reach deep into my pocket to get out of that. Like Rosa said, lad, as long as Vavak is around, my hands are tied. I'm sorry.
No możemy go zabić, no. Mam go zabić niekoniecznie. Co mam z nim zrobić?
We'll have to untie your hands then. What should I do?
There might be something. It's obvious Vavak is getting richer than his office warrants. There are rumors going around that he's stealing the king's silver. He even uses it to mint counterfeit groschen, using a fake die. If Sigismund were to find out, he'd have him executed at once, regardless of his noble blood.
Dobra.
Then why hasn't Sigismund heard about it?
Simple allegations aren't enough to charge someone with such a serious crime. We need evidence.
But how do we find it?
Some of the silver goes missing somewhere along the way to the mint. And we have to find out where.
Find out? But how? They don't let just anyone into the mines and smelting works.
You're right. Only authorized people are allowed in. Fortunately, we have an ally. My friend Peter of Pisek. They ousted him from the Mint Master's office, but his brother Christian remained in the Italian court. He wanted to become the Mint Master himself, but because of Vavak, he had to settle for the steward's office. He hates him even more than we do on account of it.
And that's saying something.
Christian and I were just talking about his suspicions. He'd welcome any dirt you can dig up on Vavak, just as much as I would. If you go to him and ask for help on my behalf, I'm sure he'll accommodate you. I'll help you free Lord Capon in exchange for evidence of Vavak's fraud. That's fair, isn't it?
All right. It's a deal. I've already met Peter of Pisek, and I know he can be trusted. Let's hope the same goes for his brother.
Excellent. You'll find Christian and Horshan at the estate near the mines. Tell him the password via Argentum, the pot of silver. He'll know who he's dealing with. But be careful, both of you. This is our last chance to stop Vavak.
We'll be praying for you.
Jak plan nie wypali, to zawsze możemy go zabić. Potrzebujecie te trupy, czy jednak rzucić tu za fosę na pożarcie? Myślę, że w tym miejscu posprzątam te ciała, bo wydają się być w miarę majętne. 250, 266, oczywiście tyle nie dostaniemy za nie, ale my spotkamy się niebawem w kolejnej części, gdzie przygotuje nas jeszcze lepiej na dalszą wyprawę, bo jak widać, walki tu się chyba nam trochę szykuje. Dzięki za to, że jesteście, dzięki za to, że gramy razem. Grał z wami Korle, trzymajcie się. Hej, hej!